Kano, what's going on? Why are you here? Why are you at my prom? Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome back to After, which is my sequel to the Shipwrecked Survival Challenge. We're actually in the Fire's residence at the moment, so this is obviously Morgan's family. Morgan lives with her father, as well as her older sister Siobhan and her little brother Soren. The kid's mother passed away. Moira died to a killer rabbit, which is unfortunate. Oh, by the way, I have given Morgan a makeover. It was mainly inspired by the fact that her previous outfits had a lot of heels. And I figured she's in her second trimester now, and heels when you're pregnant, not a great idea. I also thought, especially because her dad is furious that she's pregnant, and obviously you'll see she's now got a piercing. I'm really leaning into the bad girl thing with Morgan. She's kind of rebelling, but she's also still a teen. I have gotten the Granny's Cookbook mod, finally. She's actually going to go and get eggs and soldiers, which is so cute. I had her dad make them. You can see she's got a bit of a belly now. By the way, I got this house from the gallery. They did live in Brindleton Bay, but I replaced it. How beautiful is this lot? So it's by Billy Orkey. I just searched for 40 by 40 lots and filtered by most popular because there are not that many 40 by 40 lots in the game. It actually makes me sad that Matilda and Malachi live in such a tiny house. Now, Kai has popped over because Morgan, since announcing she was pregnant, hasn't been to visit him. It's probably been like a maybe a few weeks in terms of how quickly a Sim's pregnancy goes. He's like, hey, is everything okay? And she's like, it's so good to see you. My dad has been, oh, she's got a crush on him. My dad has been so awful. He is basically, I'm only allowed to go to school. I have to come straight home. I'm not allowed to go out anywhere. I'm not allowed to like party or anything. Like, he's been awful. He's like, hey, look, I'm sorry that this happened, gesturing to her belly. Like, I should have been more careful. Like, if they were using a condom or whatever, maybe he's saying, like, maybe I didn't put it on properly. I'm really sorry. And she's like, hey, but it was worth it. First thing I'm going to get him to do, I don't know what his parenting skill is. These Sims were gallery downloads, and they actually have a lot of skills already. So I'm going to have him forced to do homework. Oh, that doesn't sound like forcing. I was kind of hoping for more of an angry vibe. He's come in and he's like, Morgan, have you done your homework yet? And she's like, no, Dad. And then he's seeing Kai. So he's like, and who might you be? And Kai's like, my name's Kai. Dominic has in his mind that Kai has led Morgan down a bad path. It was only after Morgan got in a relationship with Kai that, you know, she got into the real bad girl phase. It's all Kai's fault, basically, which is a bit funny because it was actually the way around, but whatever. So he's getting stuck into Kai. He's like, you know, it's all your fault. My daughter's life is ruined because of you. And he's really being quite aggressive. And Kai's like, what do you mean? That's not true. Dominic is saying, I don't want you around my daughter anymore. I don't want you around any members of my family. Morgan, oh, she really needs to pee. She's like, Dad, stop it. But then I'm going to say she's actually feeling sick. So I'm going to have her run to the bathroom. She's also going to throw up. So the stress of it is like making her morning sickness worse. So she's had to run off. Oh my God, Kai is enraged. Kai's like, I love her, you know, I want to spend my life with Morgan. I want to look after the baby. And Dominic is like, I don't want you around her. Kai, stop it. So yeah, he's like, I don't want to ever see you here again. Kai is saying, I want to look after the baby. And Dominic's saying, you're not going to have anything to do with the baby. The baby is not your problem, not your responsibility. I will make sure that baby is looked after. You can see from this basically mansion that they live in, you know, we don't need your support. You know, you're just some beatnik child that grew up on an island with no shoes. Not the time, Morgan. So yes, Dominic's basically saying, don't never darken my door again. Your relationship with my, we're teleporting. Your relationship with my daughter is over. Now, I will say in Dominic's defense, his wife actually died pretty recently. The toddler, when I loaded this house, still had the sad needle. For some reason, no one else did. It's a recent loss, and then the shock of Morgan being pregnant on top of that. You know, he's not handling it well. He also has a strict family dynamic with Morgan, so obviously that's a problem. Now, Kai is leaving. I'm going to say Morgan is actually kind of chasing after him. Morgan is basically saying, look, I'm sorry about my dad. I'm stuck right now. You know, if I ran away, I wouldn't be able to finish school because he'd use that to track me down. I kind of have to stay here until I graduate, but, you know, I love you. And as soon as I'm done with school, we can be together. Now, she's proposing to him. She's like, will you wait for me? And she's proposing. Now, obviously he said yes because he is a sweet bean. And he's like, of course. So these guys have kind of got a secret engagement in the sense that her family doesn't know. So Kai's just come home and the poor boy is so confused because he's angry from the aggravating conversation, but also over the moon that Morgan wants to marry him. Joshua's here, so I've got him just complaining to Joshua. Joshua's like, are you okay? You seem tense. And Kai's like, you would not believe the morning I have had. He wants to get married to Morgan. Malachi's like, what do you mean morning? And he's sort of following Kai. And Kai's like, I don't want to talk about it. Because obviously he's feeling pretty ashamed of this situation that he's found himself in. I love how he just came through the window. That's fine. Joshua's like, I might just take myself out of this conversation. Kai is saying, Morgan's dad has forbidden me from seeing Morgan. And I want to be involved in her life. And I want to be involved in the baby's life when the baby's born. And he's said no. The first thought Malachi has is she's a teenager, she could leave. And Kai's explaining, you know, she wants to stay until she finishes school. Now, the reason I'm taking this approach, because I said to you guys in the last part, I didn't really know how to handle it because I didn't want to move Morgan and the baby in here. This is a tiny house for that many Sims. I had a suggestion from the comments, have Morgan stay in the family home until she's an adult. And this seemed like the kind of clearest cut way to do it. And she's just come up and started flirting. I love how cute these two are together. But yeah, so that's why I'm taking this approach. Kai, basically he's going to dedicate the next little portion of his life to trying to earn money so that he can support Morgan and the baby when she's old enough to leave. Maybe she goes to an expensive private school. Maybe that's it. And she could leave and come and live with these guys and go to Copperdale, like a public school. But maybe she feels like she can't do that because she's got friends at that school and like everything for her future education is invested in this private school and her dad's paying for it. He's like a musician and he's quite a high level musician. Given the size of the house, he's doing quite well. So I can see that being that explanation. Hopefully you guys are happy with that approach. Once we finish up with this story, which at this point is basically Tilly's story, I'm not gonna lie. Tilly has a crush on Joshua. Tilly just likes older men, apparently. She's like, that ex-werewolf's pretty cute. Oh, she likes bad boys. Oh, I think we figured out Tilly's type because she's a crush on Kano too. Sure, you can have a jokester dynamic. And Audrey's here too. Why is everyone here? It's so strange. Wait, we have a prom? I didn't realize it was that late. I just literally just had Tilly make breakfast. I didn't realize it was that late. I am going to take Tilly to prom. Obviously, Kai isn't going because he is a teen, but he's not a student. All right, so Tilly's arrived. Let me show you her prom look. I'm not sure if I've shown you this or not. How pretty is she? She's just like, hey, everyone. Got a little shell necklace and stuff. There's a very familiar looking sim here. Basically, she's like, wait, what? And she's doing a double take and then following him through the crowd. So she's come to sit next to him and she's like, Kano, what's going on? Why are you here? Why are you at my prom? Now, the keen-eyed among you will notice he's a teen. So he's saying to her, he thought about what she said. If he wants her to be his priestess, he needs to prove to her that he wants her to be priestess for her, not for her mum, or because he's on the rebound or whatever. And he's like, the best way to prove that to you is to live the same life as you. And she's like, what? And he's like, I made myself younger. She's like, what? You could do that? And he's like, yes, I could make myself a child if I wish to, but obviously I don't wish to. I mean, who would want to deal with that? Honestly, I'm not sure why I thought dealing with puberty was a great idea either, but here we are. And she's like, wait, back that truck up, Kano. You made yourself a teenager. You have to go to school. And he's like, well, yes, is that such a problem? She's like, have you ever been to a school before? You know, you thought being a polluted volcano was a problem. You haven't seen the kind of toxicity that a high school has. It's like, well, I'm sure I can deal with it. It'll be fine. Apparently, we're doing a prom royalty thing. I do not think she'd care. He's come over because everyone else has. And they're all like, who's that guy? He hasn't actually been to school yet. So they're all like, I don't know who that guy is, but Tilly knows him, and they all kind of know Tilly. Blah, blah, blah. Trayvon and Andrea. Cool. Enjoy, guys. Technically, he also has celebrity. So I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if I can get him to go to school. I'm going to have her go to school on Monday. Hopefully he'll be there. I might have to actually cheat him into our family. So yeah, no one knows who he is. They know he has this kind of aura. I normally turn Fame Shine off, but I've left it on for him because in my mind it's not celebrity that's making him glow, it's actually his power. He's got the aura of something a bit supernatural, and yeah, I wanna see if I can make this work. She's getting a lot of fame interactions because she's talking to the famous guy, and probably the rest of the school can't talk to him, although Trayvon's giving it a try. He's like, hey, you seem really like famous. And he's like, no. And then he's like, that guy has a cool hat. Yeah, she's now trying to get his autograph too. That's so funny. Can I get an autograph from him? Oh, she must have been asking for a hug. Oh, Tilly would not like that. She would not like that at all. No reward earned. Look, we all know the after parties suck. Alright, so we're here. I don't know how long we'll be here, and they've all gotten changed out of their outfits. Yeah, these guys are probably all going to despawn now. I feel like that guy just said good luck. So I hope you guys like Kano's makeover. I gave him a teen makeover. He does still have, I think, one of his outfits still is the original ocean outfit. He's asking about grilled cheese. He's like, explain grilled cheese to me. And she's like, what do you mean? Now, Tilly has a huge crush on Kano. She also apparently has a huge crush on Joshua. Like I said, she likes bad boys. She's also got a very strong sense of self, and I think him doing this is a huge deal. But I'm also going to have her kind of hold the line of like, she's not just going to fall into his arms. He needs to win her. This is a thing now. So, well, oh, don't be aggressive. See, this is the thing. He is actually a hot-headed sim. She's like, so you've still got the fangs then? He's like, yeah, that's my teeth. He does have fangs. It's a whole thing. So I'm going to have these guys take a photo, but the photo she kind of needs to keep secret. If her parents see this photo, they will know it's him. I actually think he's a really cute sim. Obviously, he's a teen, so he's lost a little bit of the bulk that he had, but he does still have his fangs. So I'm going to take Tilly home. She wants to ask him out, but I think he needs to prove he's a better person. She's not going to throw herself at him. He needs to prove he's reformed. Anyone outside of Tilly would be like, are you seriously asking a deity to undergo a program of self-improvement before you will consent to whatever the question mark thing is he's asking of her? Because he's like, be my priestess. What does that entail? Like, but because she's got such a crush on him, she is very idealistic about thinking, you know, he can improve himself. And the fact that he was willing to become a teen for her it's a pretty big compliment. So Tilly's come home and Kai's actually the only one up. He's like, hey, how was prom? And she's like, unbelievable. And he's like, why? What happened? And he's expecting some kind of teen drama. So I think I'm going to have her tell him. But it's like, can you keep a secret? So she's like, you have to promise me you won't say anything to anybody. And he's like, why? Don't get yourself in the kind of trouble I got into with Morgan, okay? Like, I love Morgan and I'm excited that we're having a baby, but also, like, you heard about what happened, right? Like, be careful. And she's like, it's not like that. Oh my God, Kai. So can I have him give her a woohoo talk? Ask about woohoo. That's not quite what I want, but it'll do. He's like, you know, why, what happened? And he's asking some very intrusive Big Brother questions. So he's like, is it, you know, did you? And she's like, no. Is it related to a boy? And she's like, kind of. So She's like, I'm going to phrase it as a funny story. She's like, well, although it's become an unpleasant conversation, would she tell him? She's like, oh my god, Kai, you're so immature. This conversation is going to go downhill. Oh my god, it's offensive now. Maybe she won't tell him then. She's like, I can't believe you would assume that about me. I'm not as silly as you. And he's like, silly? And he's offended. I might actually leave this part here. I'm super keen to hear what you guys think of this development, because it's kind of a bit harebrained. So hopefully you guys don't hate it too much. I just think I want to give Kano a redemption arc, and I think Tilly could be the vehicle for that. But I'm also conscious of the fact that, why are you up, child? I'm conscious of the fact that she is not going to and should not put up with any rubbish from him. So what I'm going to just quickly do is get one of these photos and put it out. Maybe sneak a photo in here, like put it somewhere the parents won't necessarily look, like down in here. I'll have to do it in build mode, but I'm just going to do that because I think she does have a major crush on Kano, and I think she's on Team Kano as far as wanting him to be able to prove himself. So hopefully you guys are okay with this. I'd love to hear what you think. Hopefully you're also okay with the approach that I'm taking with Kai and Morgan and the baby. Fingers crossed I get to name the baby when it is born, so we don't end up with something really off the wall. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.